Hello and welcome to Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition with me, Press A to Die. First things first, I'm going to start with two quick invasions here. These two invasions were actually from the previous session. I was just about to edit the footage and I found that I accidentally cut out these two invasions by accident. So these two are actually part of the last session that I did. I don't like to give a false image of myself when I try to put all my invasions in. However, these invasions actually go a hell of a lot better than most of the other invasions, so I was actually giving a false image of myself, making myself look worse than I actually am, so say that as you will. We've got an Arturius cutting some dudes in half here, and some celebrity cameos there, helping big time. I got a hell of a lot of boys. So that's one target down, and on to the next target. Nice pillaged item there. Just running through the forest to see one of my forest bros up ahead. He's been ganked there, so I'm not having any of that. Do my buff, run in to save the day. Actually aggroed one of the NPC forest invaders there, so it's sort of 3 on 1, but they're not really worth it, so it's more like 2 on 1. I missed the backstab there. NPC takes a space full of magic there. And I managed to distract this guy long enough for who turns out to be Glorious Chester over there as my other forest invader. Who knew that Glorious Chester was a forest invader? He finishes off his dude pretty soon. He was using a Drake sword there. There's the backstab. Obviously the dude lock on completely screwed up. And now it's 2 forest hunters and an NPC versus this guy. Obviously his gank didn't quite turn out for him there, and me and Chester here are just gonna slice this guy up, give a little bit of a pose, and we're going to move on to video proper there. Sorry I'm cutting them out, but that's how it goes. So to start things off in this session, I should say that this was a good week later that I did this video. So everything you saw before this point, including those last 2 invasions, were actually all done in one day on one of my days off. So this is a week later, and everything previous was actually pretty close to the release date of the DLC. This is a week later, and suddenly everyone's starting to get a lot of the DLC items, you can see. But we start off with a nice invasion. I thought that was a nice, gentle way to start things off, to just get in the flow of it. Got a halberd bro there, and what looks like a death sort of cosplay with some shields and claws, making short work of these silver knights here. Now, I can parry these knights, and obviously I can parry them really well on my save, but I always find the timing's a little bit off when you're a phantom, so I tried to backstab. It's just more safer. And also I do a little troll movement here. I might step behind the guy, but wait, make that guy stop a bit. I don't know what I was thinking there. I guess this guy just wasn't moving along fast enough for my taste. A couple of halberd bros. Is that the gargoyle halberd? I probably prefer this halberd, to be honest. It's got one of its moveset's gone. I wasn't quite sure if they wanted to run over and take out the archer or not. They haven't sent me any messages about which one of these dudes they want. Also, Smorg, so I'm just going to run in. I'm just going to have a little look to see which one the host's going for, and I'm just going to go with the host, I think. So I don't know if he's sending me a message there or what. I think I do have my notifications turned on at this point. But, okay, so they haven't sent me a message. Which I definitely he's doing. He's on the floor already. That's not a good sign. There's Smo coming over here. Notice both for 6. Almost a double kill for Smo there. It seems that the host is over here, and Austin doesn't seem to be taking much damage, so I'm kind of guessing that Smo's the one that we're going to be dealt with. The host is having massive problems dodging those attacks. I feel for him. Everyone makes mistakes. He's also got what the pine resin buff there, which is kind of an underused buff in my opinion. And hopefully with sort of not so much a level cap, but less emphasis on just getting a good faith or magic buff. Hopefully the gold resins will come in a bit more handy, because I like the gold resins, I think they're really cool. Yeah, as you see, the host there is really cutting Smo up there, so I'm just going to be absolutely stuck in, finish Smo off. Obviously he wants Silverstein stuff, so I'm just going to put that guy down and try to kill Silverstein, who in my opinion is the harder of the two to fight in their giant form. I know Smo's got more deadly attacks, but Wilson's just so fast, you can't really do anything about him. I wish I could throw giant like that. Maybe there's an item to make you throw giant like that. Or a spell, that'd be awesome. Would it be overpowered? I don't know. It'd have to be thought about. Obviously you're a bigger target. Maybe it made you slower? Sort of like Iron Flesh, longer reach. That'd be kind of awesome. Imagine getting ganked and just do that. See a little hop he does before he does that? That's when you jump out the way. There's really much to say about this. We've got Pyromancy guy, he's got the charcoal resin there. This guy's got all the resins going for himself. A little hop. Roll when he hops, it's gonna be good. That attack is pretty dangerous, but it's more dangerous as Snow does it, I think. He's got more damage. I think it's strength class, I guess. Damage on. You know what I mean? It's just a case of confusing his AI, attacking from different angles. See me and the Halberd brothers here. We're exactly the same sort of battle plan here. Just two-handing it, running in, doing the running attack, running out. Do a little roll when he does a little pop attack. Doesn't always work. See, the AI of course is massively confused when there's more than one target. To be honest, that's probably why when I did this, I did it solo. Which probably the next video after this one, I'll do solo. Just because this is kind of too easy. I'm not the one for just putting on difficulty for the sake of it. I'm not one to put on a calamity ring and go naked and just have a massive invasion and all that stuff. I do like a good fair fight, but the game's like telling me that it can be done and you should do it this way, then I will do it a particular way. Orson's health is almost down, so we are coming to the end of this little invasion. It's good soul levels for me, really. Obviously, the guy who's doing this, his soul levels obviously going to be a bit lower than mine when I do mine, because I'm going to use the souls that I used to kill this guy to level up a bit. So I'm going to be a bit higher level than these dudes, but I'll be doing it solo. So victory achieved. We got our soul level. And we're moving on to the next one. I think from here on in it's a few invasions, and we've got some Forest Covenant going. So for the first invasion here, this one didn't go too well. Mostly my fault, but as you can see, I go straight to the stairs because that seems to be usually where everyone is these days. I don't even bother with Chameleon anymore. I can see the guy's by himself, so it's not really much point in Chameleon. So I'm going to go over here and pay this guy a visit, and this was my very first invasion of the day. I'm a little bit out of practice, a little bit wary. I'm sort of like just waving, messing around, and the dude goes up the stairs here, and I don't really want to fight on those stairs, so I just want him to come down on the flat, because I'm probably a better fighter on the flat. So I do my buff, I think he did his buff, and now I'm just going to try and tempt him down here. I feel safe doing a taunt, trying to get him to come down here, so I'm just waving to him, hopefully he comes down and stop having the high ground up there, because that's a very narrow corridor to fight, and I don't like fighting on narrow corridors. So I do a little beckon gesture here to try and get him to come here, and he nails me with the lightning javelin there. Good shot. Of course that means I've got to come to him. Unfortunately he's got the high ground. I've got to go like diagonally backwards, which leaves me open to phantom hits like that. So I guess he's got more patience than I do. He forced the issue with the javelin, so good for him, I guess. It's the first invasion was a failure. Now this one is actually where I get invaded, and this fight, guys, this fight is why I play Dark Souls. It was, oh man, it's so good. Yellow Thing won, I think that is. Kudos, man. This is the best fight I've played through so far. So just tidying up some of these knights here. Waiting to see where the dude's going to come from, because he could jump me in any second. So I'll make sure I've got my heal in. I decided to shut this door and look at the stairs, because that means that he has to open the door and come at me, and I can only look at one way at a time. So I get the stairs covered, and I'm ready for action. Okay, just playing a waiting game from the shop here, and here he comes. First thing I see is he's got his fairy ears out, which probably means he's got pyromancy on his class somewhere, and there it is straight away. So it's nice to know that I'm predicting his kit before he even does it. And you also notice that he's not got me locked on when he does that, so he's pretty good at pyromancy. He almost rolled straight into that one. However, I say center here, predicting his throw to the side, so it's nice to know that I'm also predicting him. I also try to block attack there, seeing the heater shield's excellent fire defense. As good as it is, I don't want to be blocking any more of that. I'll be definitely trying to dodge the rest of the pyromancy from there. You see we've got a very similar playstyle there. We're both countering at the same time, both parrying at the same time. So we're very similar, we're both trying to read each other's moves. I think he goes straight back to the pyromancy here. We do a massive trade there, even with my magic attack. He came off way better than I did there, so from here on in I am not going to be attacking him with that pyromancy out. I'm going to wait for him to get his shield out and I'm just going to engage him properly, and every time he goes to that pyromancy I'm just going to be playing the game of dodging him and just wait for him to bring his shield out again. So we're circling each other. I managed to land the parry, I managed to read his attacks pretty well there. So feeling pretty good about myself. Did a little RP walk away there, and he rolls away and goes straight back to the pyromancy. So I'm back on the defensive, just rolling, trying to dodge, and I go for the dodge attack there. Fortunately for me, the rapier is fast enough to actually attack me while I do that and get away with 0 damage on him. So that's quite incredible that the rapier is fast enough to do that. And he goes back to doing his predictive fire attacks there, and because I've already dodged once, I'm not entirely sure where he's going to go with those attacks, so I dodge backwards, as you notice there. I felt that was the only safe place that was guaranteed to get me out of the way of those fireballs, and I was just planning to dodge, so that seemed to work for me. He's back to the shield here now, he's got his rapier out. I'm just trying to predict what he's going to do here. He goes back to the attacks are there, and I thought I saw a little opening there, but I'm kind of confused at this point, because I can't really get through that shield, my buff's worn out. So it's kind of a case of trying to figure out where I'm going to get some damage on this guy, since I can't attack him with his pyromancy out, it's too strong, and because my buff's worn out, I can't attack him. Unfortunately I managed to get the parry there, but I can't finish him off. I did a dialer combo there and pushed too many buttons at once, and at this point I was feeling a bit nervous because this fight's been going on quite a lot and I was kind of enjoying it. So I dialer comboed, I pushed too many buttons and I rolled out of the way. Now at this point my health's getting down there, it's crunch time, and right now even partial parries are going to kill me, which is a massive problem, so I probably going to have to think of something else other than parries to beat this guy. And I go into the attack, and there he hits me with the rapier from behind the shield. I completely forgot the rapier could do that. It's one of its abilities is that it can attack while the guard is up, and that is just a perfect situation from this point. That sets me reeling. I've got to think on my feet really quickly as to how I'm going to finish that guy, because I can't really just attack because he's going to hit me from behind the shield. He goes to his pyromancy. I feel this is my last chance. I go in for attack where he's got the pyromancy out. Unfortunately, the phantom hits gets me. He runs straight in for the battle there because I think he thought that was an awesome fight, just like I did. And GG indeed. I've got to send him a message because that was a real awesome fight, and kind of showcasing just the strategy and thought that goes into a really good Dark Souls fight there. So here we are back in the forest again. It's a shame that I have to do this and just sit around and wait for invaders, to be honest, because the invaders are a lot better than anything you'll find in the forest. He did send me a fight, Yellow Thing won, after saying that he thought I should win that, mainly because maybe because of the parry that I missed, and possibly because of the shadow hit, but he was applying the pressure there, and it put pressure on me, and that's why I made those mistakes. So no, he won it fair and square, and it was an awesome fight. What the hell have we got going on here? There's some sort of smorg set died over there with a hammer. Give the guy a little bow, and you see I was pretty hyped because this was like straight after the last invasion we had, so I was hoping for some good matches, and fortunately this is the forest, this is an invasion, so we get a short little brief intermission of some guy with a crest shield, some good magic defense, but other than that it's not really worth it. I think he tries to get some bleed on me with the washing pole there, which is the closest thing to a ranged weapon you can get without arrows, and so he's trying to get some bleed there. Unfortunately he doesn't have enough poise to pull off a two-handed attack, so I managed to stagger him out of it. And then we get some guy come up and just spoil my fun. I know I should technically be attacking with him, because that's what forest hunters do, but after that awesome fight I just had, I felt like I really didn't want to be part of the gank, so I just peaced out. The other guy seemed to win anyway, so whatever. I'm happy just to sit that one out, get a useless shard, and move on to the next match. Which, as it turns out, seems that some sort of gank going on here, so that's great. I can get hit by an arrow as I just figure out what the hell I'm going to do here. Fuck up the parry once, and I should roll through it twice. Get a partial parry at least, so it kind of saved my life. See there, he's obviously, that guy's not seeing what I'm seeing, because he tried to get a roll backstab on me, which I was nowhere near. So that's obviously maybe a bit of lag going on there or whatever. I lure them over the cliff because I see them being ganked, and I just want to see if they'll follow me over the cliff, to be honest. There's two ferns nearby that sort of point to where you should be jumping, so if you ever wondered you're in a tight spot and you can jump over there, that's how you do it. Unfortunately for me, at the very wrong time, a dark spirit invades, so I've got to get my ass back over there and help this dark spirit. That was really, really bad timing on the dark spirit's part, not the dude's fault, it just happens. And to top it all off, I get lost here and go up the wrong way. So I'm trying to get over there and help a dark spirit out before he gets ganked, and then I get ganked. So I'm running my little legs off, little mage legs, and I thought they might be over by the cliff, but they're not. They're over that way. And just as I arrive, the dude dies. So the life of a forest hunter. How lame is that? And these dudes give a little bit of man love in here. Want a hug? I don't know if they deserve a hug after that, but yeah, you guys decide. And then we move on to the next invasion here. Give a little wave. What's going on here? I'm cycling through full control. I don't want full control. Get my magic weapon out. See how well magic weapon does against this guy. Ah, yes, I remember this one. This one, I'm just kind of focused on that guy. I hear the chameleon go off in the background, and turns out, yep, it's another gank. At least I tried to mix it up with some chameleon, I guess. Better than nothing. I guess it's better than just sitting on the spot spamming Wrath of Gods. At least I tried to mix it up with chameleon, so I won't fault them for that. They got some combos going on with some force and some massive magic damage. I don't know if these guys are in communication. I think they might be. Try and pull off a chameleon ambush like that. I think you kind of need to be in communication, or the other guy's just going to be like, why are you a bush, dude? Not really a lot to talk about here. They both start turtling. There's not really a lot I can do to turtles with this build. This unfinished build against turtles at gank. There's not really a lot I can do. He actually pushed me out of the way of magic there at one point, so kind of interesting. Thinking of a combo maybe with some force or not, but we'll see when we get to that part. That's sort of 20 parts ahead of this part, so just doing my little roll through his attack, but unfortunately the guys time it just so I can't really do much about it. And good for them, I guess. I guess they felt like they deserved a bow after that. Not quite sure why. It was a nice chameleon ambush. I'll give it to them there. Right, next invasion. They spawn in here. There's a guy. Do a little dance. Give it a little love. Look, I'm a bit wary of ambushes this time. And oh yeah, I don't know what I was doing here. Obviously I thought I was out of range of these attacks. A lot of phantom hits going on there. Not a great fight. Stupid mask. I'm surprised those masks are still around, but well, that is what it is. You guys saw it. I put all my deaths in. I put all the matches in, and as crappily as that one went up, I might as well put it in there. Alright, we've got another invasion here. To see some of the NPC dudes are over here, so it's nice to know that I can run back here if I get ganked, or at least survive a gank. Got a red dude over here. Let's have a little look. He's got some magic going on there. I don't really want to run in and take part of a fight that had nothing to do with anything, so I kind of wait for the dude to finish off, and I edited forward a bit there because it took him a good 5 minutes for that fight to finish off, and he dragged him over to the Ents over here, and the guy still lost. So that Red Phantom then sent me a message saying that why wasn't I helping him, because I don't really like to gag, dude. I'm sort of more into this sort of fighting. Unfortunately I did another dialogue combo there. I probably could have got some really decent damage on him. Wouldn't have really made much of a difference. He's gonna rack up bleed and finish me off, and I don't think if I landed that parry it would have killed him, so it's nice to know that yeah, I'm noticing when I'm doing stuff like that, and I'm learning not to do it, and he finishes me off with some bleed. I think he does give me the bow here, obviously because it was I was watching him the whole time. No, he doesn't give me a bow. I don't care. You don't have to bow. It was a decent enough fight. And we're moving on to a guy here. Now, watch this guy's body language. It's so obvious what he's thinking here. He's thinking he's just going to parry me in one hit. And I can see just the way he's holding his shield, the way he's there, that he's just trying to parry me. So I'm just going to give him a few kicks to the gut, just snap him out of it. His build is literally twice as powerful as my build. He's probably at least a level 100, at least. Either that or, I don't know, max gear, because he's just smashing through my stuff here, and I don't have a buff on or anything, so I know I don't have a chance, but I'm not going to let my ass get parried, because it's just not going to happen. So I just sit there and let the inevitable happen. So there'll become a time when this build's finished, probably about level 100, and I'll actually be able to stand a chance against dudes like that. And once you get to level 100, it starts to become the diminishing returns means you stand a chance against anybody, really. So it's just a matter of time before stuff like that happens. I think we've got a rematch of the same guy here. I think he stops like messing around with trying to parry me. Oh no, maybe not. So he's still trying to parry me, still trying to be a smart ass, not having anything of it. You can't just spam parry and expect to get a parry, and even if you do, that doesn't really mean anything. You gotta predict people's attacks and read their movements if you want to do some parries. But you see, this guy's attacks is they're actually going through my shield, so either he's got an incredibly strong attack or it's some sort of elemental magic weapon. So I'm slowly getting whittled down. I'm doing some damage as he's rolling around or whatever and blocking his attacks. So if this was I don't want to say like on the fair side of saying it's all builds do the work and everyone stands a chance even if you're level 1, but there'll be a time. And you see there he gets invaded by a Black Knight wielding dude there, which is sort of interesting for what comes up next. Well, I mean, I say next, but the next fight's actually against two really strong slow guys. I don't know what level these guys were. They had some really, really heavy slow gear, so it's sort of interesting on my build's part. It's got a really, really quick knife, so it's sort of interesting training, if nothing else. I'm not really posing much of a threat to these guys with their armor and health, and when I almost rolled off the edge there, that would have been embarrassing. That guy would have kicked me off. So he splats me once. He's got his way-hander, so I need to be careful of that. And I basically just use this fight as practice. I'm not quite sure why I tried to parry that. I don't think that's actually a parable move. There they are. I tried to dodge it there. That's how you should get around there. So what I basically try and do is roll through his attack and get an attack on my own. I'm not trying to roll backstab him. What I'm trying to do is just get a regular attack. So you see there, I'm sort of judging distances here. See there? I see I rolled too close. I was too close to him when I initiated the roll. Therefore, when I did the attack, because I was still locked on, it goes past. See, like that. So I'm sort of using that, and I'm learning as I go along. And also, I know that the lunge attack is slightly slower than the quick attack, so I'm sort of worrying about that. He tries to go for a backstab there, and I kind of cut him off. I'm not quite sure how I didn't get the counter backstab there. I guess it was just because I was on the hill, and he managed just to stun lock me there, which is inevitable in the end. But it's nice to know that I'm sort of learning about ranges and stuff, and about where to stand, where to roll, and when to attack. Now, I think this is the interesting invasion, because this was the... give that dude a little kick. Have a look what's going on here. I can see a white phantom just standing there, doing nothing, and there's a fight going on in front of him, so that's sort of interesting. Sort of having a look what's going on here. It's obviously quite a massive fight going on, and the phantom's not paying any part of it. So I don't know if the phantom's going to see me and just run off attack me, and either way, there seems to be like a fair fight going on, so I'm not too interested in playing a part of that. So I'm just having a little look, and obviously the white phantom must notice me, and also I saw he just healed there, so I'm sort of on the black phantom side a bit there. So I stand next to this dude. Obviously he's not aggressive. I'll just watch this fight with this dude. I'll just two phantoms sitting next together, and we'll just watch the fight and see how this goes. And just slightly worried about doing a emote next to him, because I'm worried about what's going to happen. And we're just watching the game, having a bud. Now, I wasn't actually paying attention there, but I think this other guy might be hacking, because I actually got an invasion, did an invasion and come back again, and it seems to be the same dude that was trying to parry me and the other dude. See the other guy, he's like trying to hide behind me. I'm like, no dude, you're on your own there. He's obviously not very good. Judging by how much this guy's spamming and actually getting backstabbed and hit, I'm sort of curious to see if this guy's actually hacking or not, and that's why that dude was healing on him. It's hard to tell. This guy does get it, and I wasn't aware at this point, so I just throw a Lloyd's Talisman just to even things up a bit for the Dark Spirit. And this guy didn't really appreciate that much, so that sort of aggroes him. He comes at me like a steam train. See there, after my little fight with his Wayhander, I'm sort of learning about ranges and large attacks, like there. Bam! Roll through his attack, do an attack. It's all about learning these distances. This is I'm always learning whenever I'm fighting, so I'm like a Borg. I adapt. This guy's getting some poison damage on me. And unfortunately there I see he gets healed, so this isn't really a fight I'm going to win. I'm just going to be whittling away. And this is where I sort of get curious, because that guy just got Hornet backstabbed there with a rapier, no less. And it's obviously quite a powerful rapier, because it was doing damage to my shield earlier. And there's another Hornet. Yeah, that guy's definitely hacking. I feel a bit bad now, I've only just noticed that. Oh well. What happens here? I'm sort of like just running around, trying to get a Lloyd on the dude. And, I thought the heal was a bit annoying, but to be honest, the guy was hacking like he did, sort of fair enough, so kudos to those guys. It was fun just chilling with the dude and having a little bud, watching the game, you know. A little bit interesting. And the other guy's also got a Hornet ring on his Black Knight axe, so like I was hacking, I apologize. I didn't realize at the time. I was practicing my jumping down attacks there. Good to do it off a little bit of elevation. What have we got going on in this invasion? They see me, I see them, so I'll give them a little wave. See how little I'm relying on Chameleon these days. I actually literally just wave at people now. That's great, I can't be bothered to wait. If you guys are going to gank, you just hurry up and get it over with and kill me. What's going on here? Is this the heavy bros again? Alright, so we've got the heavy bros, so I'm giving a little bow to this guy, and these guys are quite skilled, I think, in my opinion, especially for the heavy armor. I think that's a tower shield there, one of the heavy ones. So it's not really going to be stammering, I can't even say it, kicking his shield out of the way there. I don't think I'm really going to get far with that. I tried to get some parries in, but my timing's way off. And this guy's obviously knows what he's doing. He's obviously had this build many times. He knows where to use that stuff and everything. That was a cool ass attack. I haven't actually used the Golem Axe myself. I think I might use it at some point. I don't think I've actually hit him once yet. He's managed to just keep his guard up and keep on attacking. Not really a lot of build that mine can do about that. Just roll through his attacks and try and get some damage on. That's all I can do. I could maybe circle him for a backstab. See, I swear I hit that guy then. And it's interesting that when you block that attack, it doesn't actually do damage. I thought it was a magic attack, clearly not. It's interesting. Guy's nice enough to give me the little wave. I don't know why that guy's pointing to the ground. It's not like he did a whole lot. But yeah, it's interesting that the heavy attacks are kind of fun little practice. Alright, so we're just chilling around in Anor Londo here, and we're just waiting for our next forest invasion. And we get invaded again, so this will be our third invasion of the playthrough. Now, I was feeling pretty good after the last two invasions, because the invaders are much more closer to my level, so it's a lot more even than just attacking random forest guys. I get to PvP mode there, put my halberd away, start knocking over some chairs and some stools, make a little PvP arena of death here as I wait for my dude to arrive. And here he is, he's got a nice Faris hat and a Baldurcide sword. Too bad for him that Baldurcide sword is something that I just know like the back of my hand. I've used it loads and loads of times myself. So this probably is going to go well for him. I'll give it a buff and let's do this. And I do a first level attack there just to see how much damage it does with that little shield of his. It's a target shield. Not the best in the world at defense, so I'm sort of wary of that. Also the belt side sword, that little lunge attack he keeps on doing, that's what's going to be doing the damage there. It does at least 3 times more damage than a slash attack. Fortunately for him, it's very easy to parry and to predict, so do a little RP walk away there. Feeling pretty much in control of this fight. Do a little RP walk up to him. He does a little bit of damage there, even with the slash attack that does quite a bit of damage. I'm thinking that's maybe a chaos or plus 10 fire. Belt side sword that gets free damage there, not intentional, but the parry goes through. I'm so a lot more calm, a lot more in control in this fight than I was in the other fight, so when I land a parry, I'm probably going to be hitting it, not just rolling away like I usually do. I think this guy might be the one panicking here, because he starts claiming some attacks here. I did, including that little one at the end, I did 4 parries, and I landed 3 of them, so I don't spam parries, but when I do parry, I do tend to kick some ass with it. It was a pretty good fight for me. It's nice that one goes my way for once. Too bad for that guy, it's just that's just a moveset that I know just too damn well. So I'm going to be closing the door on that chapter. Now the guy did send me a message afterwards saying nice parries, good game and all that, so kudos to him. It's one thing saying GG when you win, but saying GG when you lose, that's a true sign of some sportsmanship, so good game to that guy. Finishing up with some co-op here. At the end of the session, I think I've been playing a bit too much, and I needed to go to work I think at this point, so I was getting a bit impatient with some of these invader dudes who just wanted to seem to attack everything. So I'm sort of hurrying this up along here. I want some more souls so that I can level up a bit more and just move on to Austin and Smo and move away from this area, because I've had 2 videos in this area now and this has all been cut down. I mean, each of these sessions were about 2 hours long in Anor Londo, so I spent about 3, maybe 3.5 hours in Anor Londo just doing stuff. I'm getting a bit sick of this area now, so kind of run straight to the boss here. Dudes, I've got some Tarkus going on here. If only Tarkus really did make it this far and not fall off rafters like a complete idiot. That would be fun. Is that a poise ring he's got there? I think it might be. Do I really need that with Tarkus' Black Knight set? I don't know. So we've got Austin Smorg here. He seems to be going for Austin there. That's cool, so I'm going to be trying to get some damage on there. It's not really intentional. I mean, I probably should be just aggroing Smo instead. But he was just in front of me, so I just started attacking it because I saw some free hits, so I just went for it. Obviously, the guy wants to because he's not actually attacking Smo so much. But for some reason here, he starts attacking Austin as well and just ignores Smo, which is sort of to the detriment there. He starts healing, which is appreciated, I guess. See, he's over here, and I'm not sure why he's over here. Should he just be dragging Smo away? I mean, obviously I've got this. And he starts using Pyromancy, which leaves him open to attack Smo. I mean, I've got Austin pretty much handled here, but he ends up getting his ass killed for that. I mean, I did try and do my best as a Phantom, and maybe I should be the one to hold off Smo while he does the attacking. But I just kind of feel like I did all I could there. And this guy, this is right before I went to work, so it was like a real big rush here. And the guy went in here. He's obviously a new player. First time fighting these dudes. I'm going to be doing what I can to help a new guy out and see if I can get him through one of the hardest bosses in the game here. He seems ready for action, but Smo hits a home run. He dies pretty much instantly. It means Solera just like standing there, kind of without words to say anything. And as bad as that is, and as funny as that is, I can't really blame him, because if you're playing the game for the first time, I mean, who else wasn't that bad? And to be honest, we all make mistakes, so rather than laugh at him, just pat him on the back and say, sorry bro, we all make mistakes. And to kind of prove that, 2 of the invasions I've left out previous is we've got this invasion here, where I went for a jump, and I failed the jump there. And that's pretty embarrassing, so I'm kind of leaving this at the end there just to show that even me, I still make mistakes. If you think that's bad, I actually did it fucking twice. Check this out. I'll see you guys in the next part, where we take on Austin and Smo for real this time by myself, and See you guys soon.